Hello all, Shadwell here, ready to talk about the next film in my collection, Before Midnight from 2013. It's directed by Richard Linklater and stars Ethan Hawke and Julie Delpy. Holy fucking shit. I think this is unprecedented. A trilogy where each entry is a thing of greatness. Before Midnight isn't flawless like Before Sunrise, nor is it flawless-er like Before Sunset, but it is just a few steps shy of it. Whereas those two films had everything going for them, this one has a very big trade-off that works in it that I'm going to explain in this review. Before Midnight has two faults, but it has a pretty great last act that makes up for all of it. This is the trade-off I was talking about. Whereas the beauty of the first two films in the trilogy were 99% Jesse and Celine talking to each other and 1% them interacting with a bartender briefly or a driver, this film is maybe 80% Jesse and Celine, 15% of them in a dinner with other characters, and maybe 5% of the two of them unprecedentedly split from each other and talking with the same characters from the dinner scene. It doesn't break the film and it isn't done badly, but it just feels weird. Especially the scene with the two of them split from each other. The other fault is that the title does not dictate the deadline. What I mean is that in Before Sunrise they only had before the sun rose and then they would go their separate ways, perhaps forever. In Before Sunset they only have until Jesse's plane leaves around sunset to say what they need to say to each other. But in Before Midnight, when midnight comes, it will be a new day, another day. And while that is existentially a deadline of sorts, it isn't a stakes deadline like the first two films had. However, all of this stuff is made up for by the last acts of the film where our two leads get into a big, ugly war of words. Nothing is off the table in this argument as shit from years past suddenly comes up from seemingly out of nowhere as the scope of this argument goes from something small to the statement, "I don't think I love you anymore." And what makes this argument so good is that it has moments of reprieve where they both laugh together over something silly and then out of nowhere it is back to arguing. This is the norm for everyone else in marital arguments, right? Brief moments of reprieve between bitter, hard-hitting rounds of verbal jousting. But does their marriage end? You'll have to watch the movie to find out for yourself. Fuck that. Watch all three films back to back to back. I command it from the sky. Before Midnight does stray slightly from what made the other two films in the trilogy great, but it is still a superb film, and so I'm giving it an A+. A perfect trilogy, damn it. Join me tomorrow as I review the very strange Being John Malkovich. See y'all then.